shower because it means I have to take my clothes off and look at myself in the mirror. That's how fucking pathetic I am. I can't even take a fucking shower.
My entire life growing up, I was told I was ugly.
It's not that I think I'm ugly, it's I basically know I'm ugly.
I've always been the ugly one.
I am ugly. I've been insecure about my face for a really long time and trying to convince myself that I'm beautiful, that I'm pretty, that it's just a bad day, I don't look like this all the time. I've actually come to accept that I am ugly.
Hello, you lovely bunch. I wasn't planning on making this video, but I was reading through the comments on my most recent video, and so many people seem to have missed the point of my video entirely. And so here I am, getting ready to rant. The aim of the video was to try and empower and uplift women to see the beauty in their unique features. Women like Heather, Nora, and Ellen. These women had all made TikTok videos admitting that they see themselves as ugly and how it negatively impacts their life. When I saw those videos on TikTok, it really bothered me as someone who grew up feeling like a thumb with hair. And so I made my video to kind of dispute the fact that these women are ugly and to reassure them and any other women who may look like them or feel like them that they are not ugly. Unfortunately, the comments that I got under that video and am continuing to get under that video is slightly frustrating me. For example, this one. Stephanie. I hate when people call me my full name. I feel like I'm in trouble. Not everyone is beautiful. You calling these women all beautiful doesn't mean they are that. It is enough when people don't call them ugly. Not everyone is a beauty, and you know that. Then there's this one. There's no need to absolutely lie and say things like, this woman objectively has the perfect face. There's nothing wrong with her. Be serious, man. If that were true, majority of people wouldn't be calling her and the others ugly. Not everyone is beautiful. Some people are objectively ugly. Not everyone is attractive. That's life. Telling someone they are pretty when they are not does not make them pretty. Quit lying to people to make yourself feel good. Stop trying to make everyone seem pretty.
Stop it. Get some help.
We are not all pretty. It sounds condescending to tell people who've never been appreciated for their looks that they are beautiful. It's like dismissing someone's life experience and by a conventionally attractive person.
How dare you?
And so on and so on and so on. I'll be honest, reading comments like that really irks me. Not because they had the audacity to leave those comments, like I encourage everyone to say whatever you want in the comment section down below. It irks me because I just thoroughly disagree with them. The point that I thought I was explaining quite well in my video, but apparently not well enough, so let's try again, is that these women who make videos visibly crying and upset because they feel like they are ugly are not ugly, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I'm not trying to pacify them or placate them by telling them that they're pretty when they're not. The fact of the matter is, in my humble opinion anyway, the reason that anyone would look at a woman like this or this or this and think, let alone tell them to their face that they are unattractive, is because they are looking at these women through the lens of our current day beauty standards. And if you happen to look like any of these women and you yourself look in the mirror and think that you are ugly, stop, you're not. Imagine you're looking at yourself through a camera. You're looking through the viewfinder. You're staring at yourself through that camera's lens. But that camera's lens has a filter over the top. A filter of our current day beauty standards. And now, because your face or your features don't fit that filter, your immediate reaction is that, well, you must be ugly. You are not ugly. Take the beauty standard filter off, look at yourself objectively from an outside point of view, from someone looking at you 200 years from now who doesn't have the beauty standard filter ingrained in their vision and their brains. You'll realize that you're not ugly at all.
Not being a conventionally attractive person does not mean you're ugly. I don't consider myself a conventionally attractive person, but do I feel like I'm ugly? Fuck no.
These women all have 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. There's literally nothing wrong with them. The only thing wrong with them is that they don't adhere to our current standard of beauty. They're like these beautiful little rebels who are going through life with their individual quirks.
That's hot. That's hot.
And what's so interesting to me, and this might be interesting to you too, is that if we rewind like 200, 300 years ago, there were still beauty standards, but they weren't the same as the ones that our generation is held to. These women that think that they are butt ugly today would have fit the previous set of beauty standards perfectly. Their facial features aren't ugly, they're just not on trend at the moment. And that's the crux of it. I saw this comment on a thread on Reddit and I was like, yes, this person gets it. It always surprises me that people think a feature can only look beautiful on someone if adhering to the beauty standards. In my opinion, and this is what I was trying to convey with my original video, literally every human being on the planet has some aspect of their appearance that can be considered beautiful. Heather's eyes, Nora's beautiful smile, Ellen's glowing skin. To have the opinion that these women are ugly, full stop, is so damaging, not just to the women in question, but to any woman who might slightly resemble them or feel the same way as them. Beauty is not black and white. Beauty is, and always has been, subjective. Like art. Someone could look at the Mona Lisa and be like, that is the most boring painting I've ever seen in my life. That is me. I am that person. I do not get the hype. And yet other people see so much beauty in this painting that if it were to be sold, it would literally cost you about $860 million to to buy it. Yet I wouldn't even hang that bloody painting in my house if I got it for free. I don't see the appeal. Also, fun fact, Lisa del Giocondo, who is the woman Leonardo da Vinci painted in the Mona Lisa back in the 1500s, by today's beauty standards, wouldn't be considered a great beauty, would she? If we're being honest. I mean, we'd need to plump up her lips for a start, upturn her eyes, thicken her brows, fill out her jaw, and probably give her a nose job, and thicken her hair before she would ever be considered anything but ugly in this day and age. But art is subjective, and beauty is like art. A quick thank you to this video's sponsor, Heyday. I'm going to assume that you guys are like me, and you wind down in the evening by scrolling on your phone, and before you know it, 4 hours has passed and you feel worse than before you went on your phone. Doom scrolling, right? So I have decided to stop my mindless scrolling for playing Heyday. And let me tell you, this has become my favorite daily ritual. Let me set the scene for you. With Heyday, you get to create your dream farm, personalize it so it's your own little slice of paradise, look after your cute little animals, make homemade treats, cut your hay. It's like the perfect combination of satisfying your urge to be on your phone, but in the most wholesome, relaxing way. I also love that Heyday gives you the opportunity to play with others, in that you can join the Heyday community to trade, share tips, and compete in weekly events with your farm neighbors and friends. How cute is that? So if you're like me and you want to get off Instagram, you want to get off TikTok, stop mindlessly scrolling of an evening and comparing your life to others, then do what I did and download Heyday. Trust me, you will love it. I'm going to pop the link to download in the description box down below, and I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to put a QR code right here so you can just scan that and that'll download Heyday straight onto your phone and you can start playing like right now. Even women who by today's standards are about as perfect looking as a human can get are still considered ugly to some people. And if this doesn't prove my point, nothing will. Like, this person thinks Rihanna isn't naturally pretty and that if she wasn't famous, nobody would find her attractive or consider her a sex symbol. Another person says, I don't think she is at all pretty or cute or sexy or in any way attractive. Everyone I talk to, however, seems to think she is breathtaking and cannot even comprehend how I can think she's straight up ugly. Because, my friend, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Someone else says, Rihanna isn't pretty. In fact, she's kinda ugly. She looks like a man, to be honest, even with all that makeup on. If she were a drag queen, then maybe I'd call her pretty. But at the moment, nah. This person thinks Angelina Jolie is ugly and describes her as looking like the creepy girl in school who eats her scabs. Another can't comprehend why her friends think Margot Robbie is so pretty when she herself thinks she's kind of ugly. This person thinks that Hailey Bieber looks like Vladimir Putin. And another thinks that she's so plain and forgettable that they forget what she looks like unless they're looking at an image of her. Which brings me to a very interesting point. As I discussed at length in this video, I will link it down below in case you haven't seen it, being borderline ugly is actually the goal. Do you know why traditional supermodels became supermodels? I'm gonna get the iconic Elle Macpherson to explain. Exactly. So, when a person's face is too pretty, too perfect, they become forgettable. Which seems kind of ironic, doesn't it? I mean, look at Madison Beer, for example. Technically speaking, this girl meets just about every beauty standard there is. She should be a huge success by now, given that her pretty privilege is like off the Richter scale. But the opposite has happened. Madison is so pretty that people actually think she's boring. She's bland. There's nothing memorable about her. Nothing that makes her stand out. Looks just the same as every other influencer model out there. Believe it or not, having flaws, or as I like to call them, quirks, is actually a good thing. I feel like it's when a person looks kind of odd. Like, you can't actually tell if you find them attractive or not, because maybe some of their features are objectively pretty, but then some of them aren't, that they seem borderline ugly, and that's what actually makes them so appealing and attractive. Like, there's a reason why supermodels are kind of weird looking. Like Lily Cole. Does she fit our beauty standards? No. Her lips are too small, her face is too round, and her hair isn't blonde. But yeah, she is paid millions upon millions of dollars because she's interesting looking. And quite frankly, our beauty standards are not. Look at Iman. This woman is damn near perfect, one of the top supermodels ever to have existed, and yet even she wouldn't be considered beautiful if we're looking at her through the lens of today's beauty standards. I mean, she has under-eye bags, deep-set eyelids, heck, even her lips would likely be considered too small by today's big-lipped beauty standard. And yet, just look at this woman. Anyone with an ounce of common sense or eyeballs can see that she is very memorable and very striking to look at. And having an interesting face is not just reserved for the 90s era of supermodels. Even new emerging models on the scene now have to have something kind of weird about them. And I'm sorry to tell you, but if you have the typical pretty Instagram influencer influencer face, you're not going to make it. If you want to make it as a top model, you have to be borderline ugly. Look at Liza Ostanina. Feast your eyes upon this splendor. She's got hooded eyes, her nose isn't straight, she has strong features. She doesn't fit the beauty standards at all. And yet she's not on TikTok crying because she thinks she's ugly, because this girl is being paid big money because she's fascinating to look at. Vogue describes Liza as having a kooky gorgeousness. I love that. This here is model Marjan Jonkman. Does she look like your average Instagram model? Heck no. This girl is embracing her unique features and getting paid a lot of money by big brands to do so. Where Madison Beer is apparently so pretty that she's boring, wouldn't you rather have your own unique features and be kind of weird looking and be like these girls? This Vogue article actually sums up what I'm trying to say pretty bloody well. So if you think you're ugly, listen to this. More than ever, imperfections matter. With thousands of models flooding the market at any given moment, the girls who stand out have to be more than just pretty faces. Peculiar beauty resonates. Peculiar beauty, I like that. I like to think that I am borderline ugly, even though a bunch of people commented that I shouldn't even be making a video like I made because I'm conventionally pretty. I feel like I'm offended by that. And what would I know about feeling ugly? They must be new to my channel, because anyone that's been here for a while would know that the whole reason I literally got into this as a career and became a makeup artist like 15 years ago is because I grew up but ugly. Growing up, I was the ugly girl. I was even ugly compared to the rest of my family. Nobody ever told me I was pretty. They didn't exactly tell me I was ugly either. I mean, the kids at school told me I was ugly all the time. I don't know if I would quite call it being bullied, but I was certainly picked on. I was told that my nose was too big and too flat, and like I still feel like that to this day. I don't know if it's actually my nose or if it's just that those comments like ingrained in my psyche, and now I just like have that self-perception. I got called mop head because I was so scrawny, but I had way too much hair, and looking back at pictures, I'm like, I can kind of like see where they were coming from. I had rosacea way before anyone should have rosacea. I feel like rosacea is like something you get in your late 30s or later. I had it at 13. I was on Accutane twice because my skin got so bad. I had braces like 3 times, and then a retainer, and then a top and bottom plate. I remember one girl in my year like came up to me, we weren't friends, and she looked at me, she's like, I wouldn't even come to school if I looked like you. Loud enough for everybody else to hear, and I was mortified. I think that's the whole reason I got into makeup, because it gave me some control over my appearance. I was like, okay, I can use this, and I'm artistic and creative anyway, so it kind of like, it worked to highlight the aspects of my appearance that I like and disguise the ones that I don't like my nose. Like I used to contour my nose in high school back in 2006 before nose contour was even a thing. I just figured it out myself. Then towards the end of high school, and when I left high school, I realized that my features had kind of grown into themselves a bit more, and suddenly I wasn't the ugly girl anymore, and I was smacked in the face by the realization that the way people treated me when I had pretty privilege versus the way people treated me when they perceived me as being ugly was wildly different. Pretty privilege is real, and it's not going anywhere, and I think we are doing women a disservice to tell them that they're ugly when they're not. I don't actually think that you need to fit the beauty standards in order to be pretty, and I'm kind of insulted when people tell me that I fit the beauty standards because I don't think I do. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my nose, especially when I smile, points down. Like it literally droops down, and I have like a really wide bridge. Actually, you probably can't tell because I contoured my nose. Old habits die hard. I don't actually like my nose, and if I could have chosen to be born with a different nose, like if I could have my mother's nose or my sister's nose, I would happily swap mine in a heartbeat. But the thing is, I could go out and get a nose job. Like I have the contacts, I have the resources, I can afford it. I choose not to do it. Do I feel like I'd probably be prettier with a smaller nose? Probably. I've been told that my nose is very masculine, but then I also feel like I wouldn't look like me, and I feel like I'd be kind of boring then. I genuinely believe, and feel free to disbelieve me if you want to, I feel like it's these little quirks, like these little flaws in our appearance, like the ugly bits, that actually make us interesting. Like my nostrils are so thick that when I got my nose pierced when I was 21, the piercer couldn't believe how long it took him to get the needle through my nostril because they're so thick. I come from German stock. My great-grandfather had the same nose as me, and I happen to think that Cecil Lange was a very interesting looking man. And I kind of like that I'm a little genetic throwback to him. So while sometimes I'm very tempted to get the same pixie Barbie nose as every other influencer out there, the rational side of my brain is like, cop yourself on, Stephanie. Can you breathe? Yes. Have you been hit in the face more times than you can count with balls? Yes. Has your nose withstood all of that? Also yes. Okay, well then it's a good quality nose. What are you complaining about? It's functional. I'll keep it. I know that feeling like you're ugly can literally ruin your life. It's not a vanity thing. It feels like everybody is judging you and nobody likes you, and you kind of feel like a mutant because of the way that you appear to others physically. Of course that's going to affect your quality of life. You would be daft to think that it wouldn't. Like of course we're not all going to fit the beauty standards because the beauty standards were created so that conglomerates and the aesthetic industry could make money. It's like a marketing ploy. And we're just all holding ourselves to that marketing ploy. And it has us scrutinizing ourselves and judging ourselves for not fitting standards that were created so that we couldn't fit them. On the contrary, I would argue that if we really stop and actually think about it, not fitting the beauty standards is a damn good thing. Like, why would you want to be conventionally pretty when you could be conventionally quirky?
There is no such thing as an ugly girl. They do. Listen to me. Ugly women don't exist. And maybe I'm wrong for that. And maybe when you gonna say ugly men exist? Yeah. Women never seen an ugly. I mean that. Genuinely, I have never seen a woman that I'm like, barf. Never. And I know, because I've said this before, my friends are like, oh, well, you just think that because you look like X, Y, and Z. Baby, I did not always look like X, Y, and Z. I didn't. I don't think that there's a single, and maybe men too, I don't know. I don't be over there in that area. So I can only speak on women. I have never seen a woman that I'm like, and what you just need is a little bit of upkeep. Maybe you just need a little bit of upkeep. And I personally think that upkeep comes with self-confidence. I think that when you decide that you are the baddest, then like whatever upkeep you like just comes naturally to you. I'm not saying that certain upkeep will make you look better. I'm just saying upkeeping yourself at whatever level that you upkeep yourself when you feel like you're worth being kept will make you bad every time. I've never seen it. I still have yet to see it. I think this is a skill issue. And the skill is not being more attractive. The skill is thinking that you are that girl. Don't shoot, I'm just saying.
Also guys, don't forget to download Heyday. The link is in the description box down below, the pinned comment, and this QR code right here. You are going to be in for the most relaxing, wholesome evening. Like, my favorite thing to do recently is pop on a face mask or put on my red light LED mask and just like play the game. I find it so much more relaxing than like scrolling Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube, and I love YouTube. So I will see you guys for my next video. Enjoy the game, guys. Bye!